Modern-day computers have penetrated our daily lives tightly. From playing to studying, everywhere computers are being used at a huge level. Computers are the sectors where technologies are evolving speedily. And we are on the doorstep of ultra-modern computing, which will change our lifestyle and the way of use computers. And that is quantum computing. Before we know quantum computing, we should know the small history of generations of computers. First generation, 1946 to 1956. The first generation of computers were used between 1946 to 1956. They were so huge and were using large amounts of power to calculate and store data. A vacuum tube was being used to process data. This type of computer uses punch cards and paper strips to input data. For outputs, a printout was used. ENIAC, EDVAC, and UNIVAC were the main computers of this generation. Second generation, 1956 to 1963. In this generation, the size of the computer was small as compared to the first generation. Transistors were used for processing data instead of vacuum tubes. And these computers were faster and releasing less heat as compared to the previous generation. Fortran, Algol, and COBOL were used as programming languages. They were using magnetic tapes for memory storage. Some of the examples are PDP-8, IBM 1400 series, IBM 7090 and 7094, UNIVAC 1107, CDC 3600. Third generation, 1963 to 1971. This generation of computers was using integrated circuits for processing data. This was the first time keyboards and monitors were used as input-output devices. Calculation time was faster than other generation computers and was too small to use. IBM 360, IBM 370, PDP-11, NCR 395, B6500 and UNIVAC 1108 were some examples of that generation. Fourth generation, 1971 to present. These are the computers now used in the world. Silicon-based microchips are being used in this generation. ROM and RAM were first used as memory units of this computer. And this is the first time a wide range of input and output devices are used in this type of computer for smooth operation. Quantum computing is the most advanced method of computing that can be way faster than general computers. It uses the technique of quantum physics to process and store data. It is a different type of computer as compared to recent and previous computers. A classical computer stores the data in the form of binary code. We called it bit, and this bit can hold data 0 or 1. This means a bit has only two values at one time. Whereas a quantum computer uses qubits to store data, and qubit may have multiple values. That's why it's faster than a traditional computer. Scientists call it superposition. But how does a quantum computer work? As we have discussed earlier, it obeys the principle of quantum physics. A quantum computer uses atoms to process data in place of microchips. When scientists saw the atoms, they got to know atoms can be complex calculators. And spinning of atoms creates a pattern like binary code. These atoms are used to store data, which is called qubits. This qubit needs to be stored in low temperatures because it contains high energy. According to scientists, the performance of 40-qubit quantum computers is equal to a supercomputer nowadays. This type of computing requires a new programming language because the working principle of logic is different. Companies like Apple, IBM, and Google are investing a lot in the research and development of quantum computing. Now this type of computer is used in complex data processing. Another revolution is waiting in the field of computers.